Talofa, aloha, maloelele. Welcome back to the Elder TikTok podcasty. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I post again. I used to be able to dunk back in the day, but I got injured, so I'm not really that good anymore. But you know who can dunk? Is my guest here today. I got a D1 athlete, and I found her through the ATHLINK NIL agency. She's one of the best ballers in Utah. What's your name? Who do you play for?
My name is Arizana, Peaua. I play for Weber State University.
Tell me about your college. Have you played any college basketball yet or no?
I played a year at Westminster.
Yes.
So it was D2.
Uh-huh.
And then I came back and then went to Weber.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Do you remember your worst game that you ever played?
Yeah, I've had a few.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Definitely not one.
Every athlete does.
Yeah.
What's one of them can you tell me about it and explain to me why it was your worst game you ever had?
So maybe it wasn't like the worst game skill-wise, but it was just the one that was just like gut-wrenching for me.
Oh, tell me about that.
It was probably my senior year. We were playing for state. We weren't playing in the state championship, but it was like the one before that.
Yeah. Semi or something like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
And we were playing, and I just wanted it so bad, like, cause when you have a good team, like you really know that you can like make it all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like my senior year, so I was like, oh, like this is the way I want to go out, Like I just moved there, so I moved here my senior year.
Sure.
And so I was just like, like this is the way I want to go out. And then we ended up just like, not winning.
Oh,
And so it was just, I just still remember like,
the feeling.
just like, yeah, like the countdown, like the last 10 seconds. And it's just like your last, and you're just looking at it count down, and you're just like, if we're not going to win, then I just got to like leave it all, And yeah, it was just so gut-wrenching.
To non-athletes, Arizona, they don't understand the pain. It's just a game, right? It's just another game,
Yeah.
but you think about that game a lot.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Because I too have a similar story where I think about that game nonstop. And it's for athletes like ourselves. Well, more so you than me. I'm retired. But sports is something so passionate and so personal that you describe that feeling as gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so a lot of people that aren't familiar with sports, they won't really empathize with that, or they won't really understand what that pain is like, right?
Yeah.
Would you say it was almost physical pain as well, going through that?
Yeah, definitely. Just because like you put your body through like so much like physical hardship, that just to not get what you want, sometimes you kind of lose perspective. Like, oh, was it worth it?
Right.
Like early mornings, late nights, stuff like that. I think if you put in like a different font, say like you're baking, and you're getting ready for competition, and you spend that whole week trying to like get your recipe perfect, and then the day of the competition you forget like the main ingredient, and you're just like, oh,
You forgot the milk.
I forgot the milk. Like, and you just got to learn how to make do without the milk, but like it turns out
Holy
fine.
This is a crazy metaphor.
I know.
No, it's making sense though.
No,
like it's
but,
making
like,
so much sense.
You do the best that you can, but you're just like, if I just had the milk, it would be so much better.
Milk dog. No, and that is a crazy analogy.
Yeah.
You wrote that yourself? Or did you chat GPT that? Or
No, I just came up with it on the spot.
Stop. Okay.
Oh,
Athletes
God.
adjust.
Heck
Okay.
no.
My bad. Okay. So we talked about one of your hardest games. Was your mission easy or hard?
It was hard. Definitely hard.
Do you remember a hard time on your mission?
Yeah.
When was the hardest time? What was the hardest thing you had to experience on your mission?
I remember it was just transfers, and I had gone into. I was happy at the area. If you served a mission, you know. Like,
You know the feeling. Yeah.
You know the feeling, like you just love an area, like you're ready, like things are going good. You have people like on date, you're teaching, and then you get that call from president and you transfer. Oh my gosh. And like I'm sure it's like everyone has like who served a mission has like that experience. But for me, when I had gotten transferred, the place I had gotten transferred to was just one that when I first gotten transferred to, it was just the place that I felt like that when I knew it was going to be hard, but when that I knew that I was just going to have to like be like spiritually, I would have to be like spiritually on point to, in order for like the area to grow, you know?
Yo.
But like that area that I was transferred to became like, that's my favorite area. Like it was my hardest area, but it was like my favorite. I loved it.
Ew.
Like I love the people. Like it's just like, it's like a sweet memory.
Okay.
Yeah.
You take the worst experience you had with basketball, losing on your way to state.
Yeah.
The hardest part on your mission, transferring, right?
Yeah.
Would you be the person you are today if you didn't experience those two things?
No.
And why not?
Well, because if you put into perspective, me losing that hard game in a way prepared me on my mission. Like, you know, like all of those hard experiences.
It's
you
almost like
experience in
for a
life,
reason, no?
Yeah, it definitely is for a reason. There's always like a bigger purpose of things, you know, especially when you look with an eternal perspective. And so, like, I feel like everything, all the hardships I went through before my mission, whether it was sports, school, like things like that, in a way it helped me, it grew my capacity to cope when I was on my mission, you know? And so, like, your perspective on everything just widens, I guess.
When you're going through hard times,
Yeah.
when you're struggling, should you blame Heavenly Father for going through these things? Or do you blame yourself? Is there anybody to blame? I feel like sometimes we can get selfish. I feel sometimes we don't want to take accountability. And when you're going through hard things, it's easy to say have an eternal perspective, right?
Yeah.
But for some of us members, too, of the LDS Church, I feel like sometimes we put the blame on other people, or we put the blame on Heavenly Father. Why am I going through this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do we avoid that?
I think especially within the church doctrine is perfect.
Correct.
But it's executed by imperfect people.
Ooh.
And so when you have, like, whether it happens to you or you do it yourself, you have to remember that, like, because you're imperfect, you need to rely on what is perfect. And you need to have, like, a personal, strong foundation on what is perfect. And that's, like, doctrine. And so, like, how to not blame Heavenly Father is just, once you, like, continue on, like, reading the doctrine, you grow, like, a personal relationship with our Father in heaven.
You do.
And so when these things happen to you, your understanding just grows. Instead of asking, like, why is this happening to me, you ask, like, what can I do? Like, how can I grow from this experience? Like, you kind of become more grateful in a way that, like, this experience happened to you for a reason.
Are you saying you become grateful during your hard times?
You become grateful after they happen to you. Wow. For sure. 100% after they happen to you. During, it's kind of like...
Sure, I understand.
You know, am I making sense?
You are making 100% sense. I just had to re-ask you because... How old are you?
I'm 20.
Oh my gosh, bro. See, if everybody in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints had the testimony and understanding of Arizana, a 20-year-old returned missionary, a lot of people would stay in the church. A lot of people would realize what the church is all about. I'm very impressed with your testimony because you're exactly right. A lot of us mistakenly put our faith in the wrong things. Yeah. Other people, maybe other leaders, maybe something somebody said. And when those things aren't working out, they either give up or they leave. Yeah. But like you said, it's a personal relationship with Heavenly Father. And what's perfect is the doctrine, and what I think is perfect too is Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So if you put your testimony on Jesus Christ and you don't put it on what Bishop said, you don't put it on what, your mom or dad said, use those to help you. But where your foundation should be is where? Doctrine and Jesus Christ. If you're still watching, make sure you subscribe and hit that follow. This is Arizana, Peaua. Are girls supposed to serve a mission?
No.
So in the LDS Church, you're not required to serve a mission?
You're not required to serve a mission.
So why did you personally serve a mission?
I guess in high school, it was my personal way of showing Heavenly Father that I loved him. And so, like, I just wanted to take that time apart just to serve him the way, like, he served me and has helped me, you know, in, like, my personal journey, like, in the church and, like, dealing with, like, hardships and stuff like that.
For you personally, do you recommend serving a mission for
Always.
a young woman?
Always.
Oh, wow.
Anyone. Men, women. Don't matter if you're 18 or 26. Like, serve a mission. Serve a mission.
It's so good.
You'll never regret going on a mission.
If you could share your testimony with somebody, what would it be?
I think, obviously, I know this church is true. There's been a lot of debate going on whether it is or it isn't. But I think when you know you have intimate, personal experiences with the Lord and with, like, Heavenly Father, with Jesus Christ, you, instead of seeing them as, like, this almighty being, you see them as, like, a loving father, a loving brother. And so whatever it takes for you to grow and create that personal relationship with God, it's like, it's on your own timeline and it's on the Lord's timeline. And I think something I just want to share is that, like, whatever that timeline looks for you, just never forget, like, your worth as a child of God. You're literally a child, a son, a daughter of a loving Heavenly Father who knows you intimately, who knows you perfectly, and in a way who sets up, like, all these trials, these hardships in your life for a reason, you know? And so whatever you're willing to give to him, he'll take it and just expand it to things you've never thought you could on your own. Yeah. The brook is blue. The church is true.
This has been Arizana Peaua, D1 athlete, ATHLINK affiliate. Make sure to go follow her page, follow Elder TikTok, stay up to date with all the ATHLINK procedures. Would you like these guys to come watch a game or two this year, Weber State?
Yes. Come.
You guys need to come support local Polynesians, right? NIL athletes. They got a good schedule coming up this year. Yeah. Best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to ask you, what number are you?
11.
No way. Are you
11? Number 11.
Come on now, damn me up real quick. You know what I'm saying? 11, bro. 11 is the best number, bro. Stop playing. 11's nice.
I love that number.
Number 11, Weber State, Arizana Peaua. Make sure you like and follow Elder TikTok, all platforms, and we'll see you on the next episode. Ofas.